Because it says that that's how long the lag is.
Pretty much.
"17 seconds, 18, 19, 20. Ah, gotta get my ice pack in place.
And you are live.
Yay! Happy Monday. Welcome to Journey to the Quiet with Cindy. My name is Cindy. Hello to my new subscribers. Thank you very much. I've been doing this every Monday, reading a chapter out of our family book. It is Dave Sanders, Columbine teacher, coach, and hero, co-authored by my mom, Linda Sanders. There's her picture on the back, and that's Marilyn Saltzman. The purpose of me doing this is for a couple reasons. One, I want the world to know who my stepdad was from every angle. Two, I have grandchildren now, and I want my grandchildren to know about their great-grandpa. Also, this is healing for me. I do suffer from severe PTSD for the last 20 years, and I think on my first or second Columbine Bedtime Stories video, I had a really close call with an anxiety attack. So this is about me sharing with the world a wonderful man who is my stepdad from... Let's see, I met Dave Sanders in fall of 1990. He married my mom in 1993, and he was murdered in 99. So, babe, can you turn that down a little bit, please? Thank you. Tonight, I will be reading Chapter 7, The Teacher. I'm excited to share with you who Dave was as a teacher. So tonight is part 6, Chapter 7, The Teacher, Columbine Bedtime Stories live stream. And my husband, Art, who's off to the side, he will be reading the side chat because I'm using my cell phone. And his channel is Where the Smiths, if you'd like to check it out. That would be great.
Say hello to Jurassic Gaming 91.
Jurassic Gaming 91. That is my son, Tyler. Please check out his channel and subscribe. If you love video games, he plays them. I'm so excited I have new subscribers. Thank you so much. It helps me because once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I will get a paycheck. I don't know how small it is, but I'll take it. Okay. Are you ready? Chapter 7, The Teacher. After 22 years as a business teacher at Columbine High School, Charm Chancellor retired in the summer of 1998. On April 20th, 1999, she went for a physical exam at the Kaiser Permanente facility in Lakewood. When she was leaving the building, she saw a group of people gathered around the television set in the waiting room. Boy, these people must really be into their soaps, she thought, but as she walked by the television, she glanced up at the set and got a glimpse of her school, Columbine, on the screen. She asked people what was happening, and they said they're shooting up the high school. I've met Charm. She's a very sweet lady. Charm got into her car to head home, going east on Alameda Avenue, then turning south onto Wadsworth Boulevard, and police vehicles came screaming past her. She couldn't turn into her neighborhood, but was directed farther south on Wadsworth until she was able to wind her way home. All afternoon, she sat glued to her television set, impatiently switching channels to get the latest updates. She stared at the screen in disbelief, as did I think we all did, as she saw her shell-shocked colleagues and students running from the building where she had taught for so long. Soon Charm started getting phone calls from her friends, and she began calling teachers' homes to find out what was happening. Angela Sanders called her a couple of times during the course of the afternoon and evening to find out if Charm knew anything about her father. Charm was told that Dave had been taken to the hospital. Yeah, so was I. He wasn't there. When she finally got the report, Dave wasn't in any of the area hospitals. Charm could only assume the worst. That Dave was still inside the school. Her dear friend and colleague of over 2 decades was dead. When she heard how Dave had died, she wasn't surprised. He would just do what he had to do for the kids, she said. When Columbine students returned to school at the neighboring Chatfield High School on May 3rd, 1999, Charm agreed to come back and take over Dave's classes for the remainder of the school year. I remember because I was there. Wow. It was helpful for me to get back with the teachers and be connected, Charm said. But it was difficult as well. She missed seeing her colleague of 22 years, the man with whom she had shared office space and lesson plans, as well as hopes and dreams for the future. Charm first met Dave when she came from teaching at King Carroll Middle School to teach business at Columbine in 1976. He also coached her sons, Clay and Craig, when they attended Columbine. In the 1970s, Charm and Dave taught keyboarding on manual typewriters in the first floor business wing at Columbine High School. As technology changed, they moved on to electric typewriters and then computers. The two colleagues worked together to make keyboarding more interesting, inventing games and competitions to engage with the students. Yeah, I took typing for a couple of years. It's fun. And it worked. While students admitted freely that keyboarding wasn't the most fascinating class in high school, Dave's compassion, friendliness, and understanding made his class a favorite for many. What? He even made keyboarding fun. I mean, how much fun is keyboarding? But he made it our favorite class. He made a boring class both educational and entertaining, wrote another. To keep their skills current, Dave and Charm often attended continuing education courses together. Once they went to a class sponsored by Johns Manville at its elegant Deer Creek Canyon facility. We were treated really well, and it was more fun to go to class with someone else, Charm said. The business teachers also worked together on career days and invited guest speakers to their classes. If we were having a good speaker, we'd bring our classes together. If we had people from junior achievement, the insurance industry, the financial planners, We even had a Secret Service come in and talk about counterfeiting. It brought different perspectives and motivated the students, Charm said. Charm's son Craig, also a teacher, told her about the movie Stand and Deliver with actor Jamie Escalante. Charm enjoyed it so much that she bought a copy, and she and Dave showed it to their students mid-semester to motivate them to hang in there, ironically. When Dave was honored, sorry, I'm going to mention a place where I had the privilege of being. When Dave was honored at the February 2000 ESPY Awards at a nationally televised ceremony in Las Vegas, it was Jamie Escalante who introduced Dave's award, the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage and Humanitarian Award. I was up on stage at the ESPY Awards, so of course those moments are going through my mind. That's what severe PTSD does. Would Dave ever believe this, Charm thought? When Columbine High School was remodeled in 1995, the business department moved down to the lower level, just off the cafeteria. Dave and Charm had neighboring desks in the business department office, and Charm remembered that Dave had a picture of his wife Linda over his desk, along with this poem. The poem is titled The Guy in the Glass. I don't know, hang on. That's what it looks like, The Guy in the Glass, by Dale Wimbrough, 1934. When you get what you want in your struggle for pelf. Okay. And the world makes you king for a day, then go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that guy has to say. For it isn't your father or mother or wife who judgment upon you must pass. The feller whose verdict counts most in your life is the guy staring back from the glass. Sorry, this is my first time reading this poem. He's the feller to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear up to the end. And you've you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test. If the guy in the glass is your friend, you may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum, and you think you're a wonderful guy. But the man in the glass says you're only a bum. If you can't look him straight in the eye, you can fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass. But your final reward will be heartaches and tears if you've cheated the guy in the glass. Wow. I have to take a breath and get a drink. Wow. I have organ allergies. I've been sneezing all day and suffering with a stuffy nose, so pardon me. Okay. The poem says a lot about Dave, Charm said. Colleague Joe Marshall remembered the poem too. Dave and I would would share that poem with our students when we were coaching. It meant a lot to him, Joe said. After moving to the lower level, the business teachers generally ate lunch together in the nearby teacher's lounge. Thank you, honey. Charm and Dave walked down the short hall to the cafeteria, bought lunch, and talked sports from the Rockies to the Nuggets to CU, and we were Broncos crazy, Charm recalled. The business teachers took turns chairing the department. It wasn't a responsibility they necessarily wanted, but they all volunteered to do it at one time. Hang on, I gotta let Bailey out of the kennel. Come on. She's comforting if I start to get upset. So okay. Dave was head of the business department on and off over the years, and he was always the peacemaker, Charm recalled. When Dave was at department meetings, he wouldn't insert his thoughts unless he was specifically asked. He never took sides. He was gentle-natured, Charm said. He was also always there for her. If I needed a judge for cheerleading, he'd volunteer. If I needed a chaperone for a dance, Dave would volunteer. I could always count on him. While other business teachers came and went over the 2 decades they were together, Charm and Dave stayed as the core of the Columbine business department, changing courses with the changing times. When she began teaching, Charm taught shorthand, which progressed to speed writing and finally to computers. Now, I graduated in 1989, and I had keyboarding on electric typewriters, and I think computers were just coming out. I don't remember. Okay. All of their courses were elective, so students chose to enroll, but they had no trouble filling their classes. We were teaching them things they really needed to learn: how to buy a car, balance a checkbook, or get a loan, Charm said. Hang on a second. I gotta get this off my screen. Sorry. Okay. To make business more real to students, Dave called their assignments jobs. As he walked around the room, setting expectations for their work, he also brought in examples from his personal life. When teaching about insurance, he talked about the value of Linda's $500 collection. My mom does have a beautiful collection, which filled an entire room at their house. He also talked about the huge collection of Disney movies Linda and he had purchased for the grandkids. This is a special part because it involves me. So, hang on tight. He asked his students to develop a budget for daughter Cindy's wedding, figuring the cost of the cake, food, beverages, and utensils to bring a real-life example to class. The students knew how much my wedding cost, but they wouldn't tell me, Cindy said, which is very true. As he talked about business, he also spoke about how much his family meant to him. His face glowed when he talked about his family, and his feelings for family rubbed off on all his classes, this student said. And his students were a second family to him. He loved being with the kids. Teaching school keeps you young, and every day is different. He enjoyed all that, Charm said. How's everyone doing? Is Tyler the only one watching still? Hi, buddy. Huh? I'm reading you a bedtime story. I know you're 28 years old, but you're never too old for a story. He would always have a big smile on his face when he came into class. He gave the same stare once in a while if you made him mad, but he never yelled. He loved everybody. It didn't matter if you had 100% or 0% in his class. He would try to do everything he could to help you, said student Lindsay Dowling. He knew how to make me laugh. I laughed at everything he said student assistant Carrie Preziosi. Forgive me if I said that wrong. His sense of humor was legendary. One day, the students in his introduction to business class began telling him how much fun his class was and what a great teacher he was. Dave climbed on the table and said, "The bowl is getting too high in here." The students laughed until their stomachs hurt. In a second period business class one day, Heather called out, "Mr. Kraft, Mr. Kraft," the same name as her first period teacher instead of Mr. Sanders, whose class she was in. When she realized her mistake, she said, "Sorry, Mr. Sanders. Could you come and help me, please?" Without missing a beat, Dave said, "Sure, Nancy." After that, whenever they met in the hall, she would say, "Hey, Mr. Kraft," and he would look at her and laugh and say, "Hey, Nancy." Two girls, both named Christina, who were best friends, were in his class. When Dave saw them walking down the hall together, he would call out, "Christina," just to watch them both turn around. Then he'd laugh. Hang on, I gotta get this off my screen. Sorry. Okay. One keyboarding student had a problem computer, and whenever she tried to print, the computer deleted everything she had just typed. Rather than get angry or frustrated, Dave said, "Well, I don't think that computer likes you very well." Dave was incredibly patient. Yes, I will second that. So when they finished their keyboarding work, he'd let them go into the commons to buy a snack. When a student returned after taking too long of a break, Dave asked with a smirk, "Did you get me anything?" One student who moved to Littleton for the 1998-99 school year didn't have many friends when she enrolled in Dave's keyboarding class. On the first day of school, he learned her name first. Every day, he used her for an example, which made me feel welcome. I loved going to his class because I knew someone in there knew me, she wrote. A girl who had trouble getting to class on time, getting a warm smile and information about what she had missed rather than a lecture about being late. When she returned to school after being out sick, Dave gave her a friendly pat on the back and asked, "Are you feeling better?" He was very compassionate. I'm only going to go a little bit longer. Okay. Instead of yelling at students, he gave them the famous look. One student recalled that in business class, she and her friends would mess around until he gave them the look. When he looked away, they started talking again, so Dave just decided to pull a seat up in front of them. He stared at them for the rest of the period while teaching his lesson. He had a pretty firm stare. He didn't have to say a word. If you were in trouble, yeah, the stare was convincing enough to stop doing what you're doing. A typing student who identified herself as a slow learner said that when she told Dave about her problems, he promised to help. Almost every day, she came to see him during their free 7th period. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop. So I need to mark my spot. I'm sorry, my anxiety is starting to build up, and I really don't want to have a panic attack on a live stream on YouTube. Excuse me. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Next Monday night, I will finish this chapter 7, The Teacher. It's a pretty long chapter, but he was a great teacher, so, you know, it's not going to be a short chapter. Please remember the 12 students that died that day with my stepdad. I truly believe that God chose the best teacher and coach to go to heaven with those 12 kids. So, thank you.
Xander Bricks.
Sandra?
Xander.
Oh, Xander. Hello. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm just about to finish to avoid an anxiety attack. If you haven't subscribed yet, it is free. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up like button. After you hit subscribe, you can tap the bell to the side of the word subscribe, and that way you will get notified with all my future uploads. Thank you very much to my husband, Art, who's watching side chat for me. His channels were the Smiths. If you have any questions, comments, please put them down below in the comment section, and I will attach a link of how to purchase this book on Amazon.com. And thank you for watching Journey to the Quiet with Cindy. I always say pray for peace on earth because it doesn't hurt. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Bye.